So, do you know what a food bank is then?
No.
Oh no, I don't.
Yes, they've come about recently, and they're basically a place where less well-off people can go and pick up food to feed their families and themselves, and because of the unemployment and lack of opportunities for certain people in the community.
To the average person, it seems as though supermarkets offer people an unrivaled choice and display of food. However, for those living on the breadline, it is often a struggle to afford the cost of basic groceries. 13 million people in the UK currently live below the breadline. Half of the 13 million affected come from working families. So what is being done to help them, and are they aware of the type of help available to them? There are hundreds of food banks across the UK, with many more opening up to deal with rising demand. And more to the point, food banks are not a modern invention. In fact, the world's first food bank was founded way back in 1967. So what is the secret to their success? This is Super Food Bank, based in the London Borough of Brent. In the past 3 months, they have served more than 1,200 people. Wanting to find out the bigger picture, I decided to talk to Sahib Hassan, the project manager there. From what Sahib said, there seem to be more to food banks than meets the eye. So Sahib, tell me how Super Food Bank came to be and what has grown so much over the past few months.
Okay, so we got together with 5 different charities that came together and had the idea to build a food bank covering this area, and each charity kind of contributed their expertise and some resources, and that helped us come to life really.
So how much support does Super Food Bank receive from partners, volunteers and or the community?
We receive a phenomenal amount of support from our partners, from volunteers and from all different stakeholders in the community. I mean, we work with all different aspects of the community, from schools to kind of universities, as well as charities, religious institutions, and everyone that we've worked with has been immensely supportive, have been very helpful. A lot of people have been exceptionally generous, helping us with food donations and with their time also. So we've received really strong support from the community, and without them we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do.
So it seems to me that food banks are a good idea. So what are the main stereotypes about food banks and or their users that you would like to challenge?
I think there's some stereotypes that perhaps food banks might not be needed, or that only a certain type of person is likely to use a food bank. And I think what we found out over the last couple of months is there isn't really any specific type of person that is likely to use a food bank. It's just someone that's in crisis. So over the last 3 months, we've had people from early ages, so young people using the food bank from the ages of kind of 17, 18, people just leaving care or still in care. And this is extended all the way to old age pensioners, people that have needed to use the food bank and they're quite elderly. And all the different people that you can imagine in the middle, so small families and large families, and each person has their own story, each person has their own situation. And it's not the kind of thing where it's just one type of person that's going to need it. Each individual circumstance is completely different than the one before it. But the one thing that they have in common is that they're people who would basically be facing hunger if they didn't receive any assistance. That's correct, yeah. I mean, we utilize a referral policy, so we call them guests at our food bank. So any guest that arrives at the food bank is required to have a voucher, and these vouchers will be taken from our referral agency partners. And these referral agencies can be lots of different types. So you get people like schools, GPs, charities, housing associations. So different groups of professionals that work with vulnerable people are able to issue vouchers.
So, what can we take away from all of this? Well, one thing I'm sure that we've all learned today is that there certainly is more to food banks than others would like to admit. And if you feel particularly moved, then why not find out more? For a start, you can find out more about Super Food Bank at this address. So, now that you know what they are and what they do, then why not do your part? After all, they are more than happy to accept contributions, and this does not necessarily have to be money. After all, volunteering at your local food bank is a great way to give back to the community.